Back on the morning meeting here on News Talk 1400 KFRU. Simon Rose, Mark Farnham back with you on the programme. And it's a pleasure to welcome to the programme Paul Ulreich, whose official title is a PR specialist with Verizon. But we're actually going to change that and call him Verizon Tech Geek. Is that all right with you, Paul?
Sure, anything you want to call me.
All right. That's what we're going with here.
Tech Geek.
Because yesterday we had Jim Barry on from the Consumer Electronics Association. I'm sure Jim, is familiar with a lot of the stuff that you're about to show us. The first thing, though, you unpacked really got us going here because this is sort of combining retro with the very latest in modern technology. So basically what Paul pulled out of his bag is a small version of what you remember as the old video game console. You know, the one that used to stand, about 6 and something feet tall, something like that.
Right. So if you went into an arcade, you'd hear that sound that
you'd
you hear
that
right
sound.
now.
Yeah.
You hear that? I'm playing a little Centipede right now.
Yeah.
And you'd put a quarter in, and that was the full-size machine. This stands about 18 inches tall.
Yeah.
And what you do, Paul described.
Yeah, tell us what you did here, because you pulled it out, but there was no screen when you first pulled out this console. So tell us then what you did.
You take your iPad out, you slide it right into the device. It's called the iCade. So it's like an Apple version of video games, and you can download all sorts of the old school games. So I'm playing Centipede right now.
Nice.
I've got Asteroids on here.
Oh,
I'm a Call of Duty guy. I love me some Xbox, but I love to go old school a lot and I'll sit here and play Centipede and Asteroids all night long.
The old ones are the best ones. Come on.
So you put it in essence, you get this. It's made of wood. It's the same kind of construction.
It's looks exactly like a
joystick and the buttons just like that are full size.
Yeah.
Now it's on this console, and you just the screen that you're looking at is really your iPad.
Correct. It connects via Bluetooth, so it's all.
Oh, is that how it does it?
It's all wireless, and it's it's fun.
So is the app free, Paul? If for our vintage game lovers, they want to do something like
it comes with Pac-Man. It comes with Pac-Man for free. You can buy other games. They only cost like 99 cents.
Pac-Man for free.
They don't cost much.
Yeah.
Pac-Man.
I love Pac-Man.
Yeah. That's great.
That was one that we used quite a bit. I think this is remarkably good use of technology.
It is.
Heck yeah.
Frankly, sometimes I get frustrated with the touch screen. I like having the manual controls.
Right, the physical controls.
Yes.
That gives it gives it the experience just like you had back in the day with the big 6-foot stand-up games. It looks exactly like the same games, just shrunken down.
Right, and those buttons, they're full-sized buttons, just like the fire button and the backup.
Absolutely.
And then that joystick, it's full-size. It's just that it's in a box that's 18 inches tall and about a foot wide, I'd say.
Yep.
Slide your iPad right in there, and it becomes the screen.
And it's Bluetooth actually that's doing the connecting. Then is that how it works?
Correct. There's a couple batteries inside the device, inside the iCade. That once you hit a button, it automatically turns on. You pair it with your device, and off you go.
So where would you find the iCade then, if you want to buy the actual box there to do it? Because I'm assuming, Paul, that what you can do is you could actually play that directly on your iPad, but it's more fun to do it the way you're doing
it's more
it, right?
There is a little on-screen control. There's a little button you can move, but it gives it a much better experience when you use the iCade device. Yeah, you can go right on VerizonWireless.com website. Yeah, they'll send it to you in a small box, couple screws, and you're good to go.
That's a birthday / Christmas. I don't even want to mention Christmas, but after all, we are nearly halfway through the year. Let's face it. But there's a perfect gift for the vintage gamer in your life. Let's face it.
And I saw your two boys yesterday, and I bet this would drive them crazy.
They play at the moment. They're doing this Sonic stuff, but this would be more fun for them. Yeah, take it vintage style. That's great. Is there sort of a move towards some of these vintage games then, Paul, and utilizing new technology to kind of bring them back that you've noticed?
I think now that games have gotten so advanced now, like I said, I like to play a lot of the modern games, the Xbox, but a lot of people long to go back to what it was like when they were kids and going to the arcade. So I like to go old school a lot and play the older games.
See, I'm old school. I like pinball.
Pong.
Pong.
Pong is even into the electronic age. I like all those old shoot the metal
the old
ball.
Pinball,
yeah.
I remember though one of the first kids to get Pong at our school, and it had sort of a thing that you had to plug into your TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you had to plug it in, and it was just pop. And it would move really slow. I mean, it's amazing.
My dad had one. It was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it really was. And that was mid to late 70s is what it would be.
Early 80s, right?
Yeah. So could you get Pong if you wanted to on this? Do you know?
I'll have to look. I don't know about that one. Probably. I'll work on it.
What's our approximate cost on this?
Yeah.
It's under $100.
Oh,
wow.
That's not bad at all.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Because you've already really done the investing. If you've got your iPad, right?
Right.
You've already done your investing. So that's not bad at all as far as an extra goes.
That is one of the best devices I've seen.
Yeah, that is a cool way to go retro with your new technology.
That's right.
It's restoring my faith in that. Now, something else you showed us, Paul, that you've got is that you can mess with your family remotely. Tell us how this is set up and how you can turn on your lights at home from our studio.
Exactly. I was just showing you I have a Netcam hooked up to my home Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So you download the app on your phone, and all you do is tap the button, and you can see it. Right now, I'm looking at a live shot of my front room at my house. Unfortunately, there's no one there to mess with, but I can also turn on my Wemo switch. Yeah. And with one touch of a button, I'm now turning the lights on and off in the front room of my house. There's no one home right now.
We can see it. I realize this is radio, but we can see him turning his light on and off.
Because he has, okay, so it's the Steadicam is sitting there looking at his house, and then he pushes the button on his phone, and it turns the lights on and off at his home in Chicago.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah, it is absolutely crazy, and that is a good way to mess with some people.
Now, what are the products that you use
what's the
to
Wemo,
do that?
for example?
What's the Wemo switch. Again, both of these items you can buy at Verizon Wireless stores or online. The Belkin Netcam is what allows me to view them. I've got two. One in the baby's room that has motion alerts, so when the baby's moving, I get an email that she's up or that she's about to go to sleep, and I can watch her.
Pretty handy.
I
need one for hours.
It's nice when I'm traveling. It kind of keeps me close to home. And then the the Wemo switch is you can get Wemo switches where you can control it from your phone. You can also get Wemo switches with motion, so I could set it to when someone walks by, the light would automatically come on.
Spell Wemo for us.
WEMO.
Okay.
So both those apps are super cool. Again, just keeps home closer.
And I've noticed that now a lot of people use that kind of stuff for security too, right, Paul?
I know a lot of people use them with pets. A lot of people use it. I've got a couple friends that have these. They just so they can see what the dog's up to when the dog's usually when you're gone. The dog's kind of
you can see Mark's dog chewing the furniture.
I know what the dog is doing. I don't even have to have a camera. He is chewing something.
The dog's usually restricted to one room, so people will put it in that room. They can watch the dog. And so it's a cool app.
I guess, too, there could be a safety part to this because, if you're away from home and nobody's at home, you can make sure your lights are on at night and you can turn them off during the day, can't
Correct.
you?
If I got a motion alert in the house when no one was home, that would be an issue. And it also, when you get the motion alerts, it automatically takes pictures and emails them to you. So if there was, unfortunately, someone who wasn't supposed to be in your house, you would have a picture of them, too.
Wow.
Busted.
And it's right to your email, so they can't disconnect anything.
And
that's cool.
We're doing this all through... all of these connections, well, there's the Bluetooth connection, but you are on the Verizon Wireless 4G LTE network, and that is how you transmit these signals back and forth. This isn't like a walkie-talkie, or you're not going through a third-party
A walkie-talkie? Boy, you are going retro.
He's going old school on it.
Yeah.
Right, and we're inside a radio studio, and I'm still streaming this video in perfect. It looks as if I'm standing right there. So.
Right.
It's nice.
It is amazing, and like I say, I think a lot of people would love to have that for the security benefits that it has as well. It's really cool.
I see on the desk in front of you the pet tracker. We've had that in the studio before.
Mark's dog talks to him. I'm out of the yard.
That's right. I like the messages. My dog Stewie that does. We should have called him Chewy.
Stewie the Chewy.
We did an experiment and sent him around the yard, and I liked the messages. It's called Tag
Pet Tracker. Right. You can set up geofences, so if the dog leaves a certain area, you get an alert.
And the alert is funny because it says from Stewie, hey, you need to come find me. I've left the yard. Or when he comes back, then it'll say, don't worry, I'm back. And it's just a very funny, great, friendly interface, I think, and it's a good pet monitor. I think it works great.
Yeah, and if do you have pets, then Paul? You got yours wired up to this thing?
At the moment, we're pet shopping. We don't have any four-legged pets. We don't have any four-legged pets yet. Our only fish at the moment.
I'd like to see your types of fish. So what do you do? So how does it work again? I know Mark talked about this last time, but it is kind of neat, I think.
Right. It's got just a small little adapter. It's only a couple inches long and about an inch wide. It attaches right to the dog's collar.
It's cool.
And you set everything up online. You set up your geo fences. You can set up multiple fences too. So say the dog goes to the babysitter, to the dog sitter. You'll know when the dog enters that area. And if the dog unfortunately does run away, well, it's got GPS technology. So no more walking around stapling signs to fence posts. You can just fire up the app on your phone and you can find the dog just like that. Or any animal. I've had people, farmers use these and they put it on one cow because one thing I learned, I visited a farm, if one cow gets out, they all get out. So you don't need to find all of them. You just need to find one of them.
They follow. All right, yeah. So where one is, the rest will
Correct.
follow.
Exactly.
The leader of the
I didn't
pack.
think about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They stay in packs.
Yeah, farmers. There you go. I have to recommend that to my uncle too, because we visited his sheep while we were back. He probably
There you
needs
go.
that.
That's a good idea.
10:26. We're talking about some very cool gadgetry once again this morning on the morning meeting. We're doing that with Paul Ulreich. He's a PR specialist, techno geek with Verizon. We're back after this on KFRU. We're back on the morning meeting here on News Talk 1400 KFRU. Simon Rose, Mark Farnan is in this morning for Renee, and we're sort of picking up where we left off 24 hours ago, really, because we're talking about technology. This time, we're talking about technology with Paul Ulreich. He's a PR specialist with Verizon, Techno Geek, dubbed by this program. Let's see where to go next. Well, you've got... I've got one of these. I first saw it actually when Mark brought it to the studio, and that's this jam box. That what is it? Jawbone? Is that the maker of that?
Correct. The Jawbone jam box. They've got the small and the large. Right?
I did not know there was a large, because the small is super impressive. And when I first saw it, I thought, well, you know, I'd had the little speakers that you can plug into your phone or your iPod or whatever before, and you know, some of them are okay.
They were okay.
Yeah, but you lose a lot on the low end. And when he plugged that thing in, it was amazing, the sound. And I'm continually blown away with it. In fact, I told you, my wife is kind of regretting the purchase sometimes. When
You
I'm
got
rocking
one for
out,
Christmas.
I
Yeah.
got one, I think it was birthday, but anyway.
Yep.
But it's great. Now, you've got one that's much bigger.
Right. The jam box has that small one that's got a nice sound. If you really
sounds
need
great.
to have a party or something, or really fill an entire house with sound, you can go with the big jam box. Of course, on the smaller side, then there's the new Beats. Dr. Dre has his version of the smaller jam box right here, the Beats Pill.
It looks, I mean, it's just like it looks like my glasses case, but that doesn't help people.
Right.
It's like a big sausage shape, is
Right,
what it looks
like,
like.
like a small pill, like a big pill case. It's about
Yeah.
the same size as the small jam box. Again, nice full sound. It's a good
Yeah.
device.
So these are all remote speakers, and you
Yeah.
connect to them through Bluetooth or wired. You do
Correct.
A
You can do either or.
Uh-huh.
You can do either or, whichever one you like.
And Dr. Dre, of course, has got this whole sideline now in technology, doesn't he? He's got the Beats headphones, of course.
Right. I like wearing these because it makes me feel cool, makes me feel hip.
It's one that all the athletes and stuff are wearing
Exactly.
at the moment.
Exactly. It makes me. It's a good mask though, because what people don't know is that I'm listening to like Justin Bieber and Austin Mahoney. I'm listening to pop music when when I have my headphones, I look cool. And one thing I realized when wearing these, walking through O'Hare,
Yeah.
it's kind of like having a Jeep. When you have these on, other people that have Beats on as they cross you, they'll
Give it
acknowledge
the high
you.
five.
They'll give
No,
you the-
just a little chin. You know,
Oh,
like,
is that
hey,
all it is?
like hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Well, I know that they have always become, talk about wearable technology, that's what they've become, because he makes them in all different colours, dude. And you've gone with the white, with the
Right.
red B for the
Right.
Beats. But there's red ones and black ones.
Oh,
and
they've got all
kinds,
sorts
yeah.
of colors. They've got even larger ones than this one.
Yeah.
This is kind of these
And
wireless
Paul,
ones are nice.
what I noticed immediately is there is no wire from
Wireless.
Correct. Yep. Wireless again. You can hook it up wired if you like.
Yeah.
Or you can go wireless on Bluetooth, which is just much less hassle.
that. And these stream all the music that you have on your iPhone or
Right.
whatever phone.
any Bluetooth enabled device you can stream music.
So this would
through it.
work on an Android device as
Oh,
well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
that's
how does
great.
it sound? Does it work nice through headphones? I mean, I know that I'm able to use the Bluetooth on the Jambox. Does it work just as well through headphones?
Right. Whether it's wired or wireless, it's the same sound.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Just using it wireless is a little less clutter when I'm cutting
Sure.
the lawn or doing stuff around the house.
Yeah, and you don't get jerked back by a cord
Right,
sometimes if
right.
you stretch for
Is
something.
there a range on this, a Bluetooth range, so you could
Bluetooth
lose?
usually goes about 20, 30 feet.
Okay.
So when I go to the gym, I usually put my phone kind of right in the middle, and I
Uh-huh.
can just walk around. I never have to touch it.
So you can do all the stations and
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's really a nice thing to have. The Beats headphones really are the top of the line, though, pretty much at the moment, aren't they? Because I know
Right.
I priced them headphones because we rely on them in our business. So I always like to invest in fairly decent pairs because they get a complete battering. But they're very nice. Very
Right.
nice.
Yeah. Depending on which
Yeah.
kind of the high end, you're looking at $200 or $300. They're definitely a great investment, though. They sound awesome.
The Jambox is a good investment too because it's a fairly reasonable price and it really does a great job as far as sound goes.
Right.
Sure does. Yeah. I listen to music all the time. It's
Yeah.
on at home,
Yeah.
at work, in the car, everywhere.
So can you pick up all these accessories at Verizon stores as well?
Absolutely.
You can?
Or anywhere, or VerizonWireless.com.
Yep.
And Paul, one of the other
Mark's
things,
wearable technology.
Yeah, we were talking about wearing something on your
Is it
head.
counting
I
how
have
many
this on
cigarettes
my,
you're smoking?
It could. You know
You
what?
can enter it in manually.
That's
Yes.
right. You can enter in stuff. I was trying to explain how this worked earlier, and it is a bracelet. It looks like one of the little rubber bracelets that people wear these days that are fairly fashionable. This is very fashionable, but it monitors my activity.
Right.
And it's called the Up. It is also by Jawbone. And how does this work, man? We just can't figure this out because I didn't have to stick a little electrodes into me to monitor my head or something.
That's next.
You know,
coming soon.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the Jawbone Up, you wear it like a normal bracelet, and it, of course, like a lot of the new fitness thing, it measures your steps, but also the app does a lot more. You can enter in all the food you have throughout the day, and when right before you go to bed, you press the little button, and a little moon appears on it. That means you press that right before you go to sleep. It tracks your movements during your sleep to tell you how well you're sleeping.
No kidding, really.
You can set a smart alarm. So say you want to wake up at 6:30. If it senses you're in a deep sleep or in a light state of sleep, it'll wake you up during your light state of sleep. So you don't
feel
get
more rested.
Right. You don't get woken up by your alarm at that exact time. It'll pick it when you're in a nice light state of sleep, and then it'll wake you up.
I like that because, when you're dreaming in that deep state and the alarm goes off, I mean, it shakes you out and you feel rough. I mean, so how is it doing it? How is it tracking it? It's obviously tracking your body rhythm, heartbeat, blood pressure. Is it doing all of that?
Right. It tracks it goes by movement.
Wow.
It tracks the movement that you have, and
that's
it
amazing.
lets you know.
And it's magic.
It's
magic, and we can't tell you.
Like everything else.
Of magic dust.
It just magically works.
So, Paul, you're hooked up to that as well. So, what kind of extra stuff did you program in meals? And for example, by the way,
it's nice if you have if you eat something that comes in a package like it. There's a certain protein bar I have. When I enter it, I just take a picture of it. It automatically enters all the information for me. I don't even have to do it.
You just take a picture of the barcode.
Yep, it's got a barcode scanner built into it as well.
That's amazing. That is totally amazing. So if you ate something really bad, like let's say you went and ate a massive cream cake or something, does it throw an alert at you or it'll shock you electrically?
You're right. There should be an ewallet built into it. And it also, you can set motion alerts. So if you stay still for 15 minutes during the day, it'll buzz. Like, hey, get moving. Go walk, take a walk, do something.
Yeah, I love that.
And
that's
you
fantastic.
and I have that problem. I mean, we're in the studio all day. I mean, you sit down half your life. I mean, you're in the studio. Well, except when you have to go to Westlakes and do the thing in the rain. The hardest working guy in radio right here.
Well, that's me.
Yeah.
Sure. It's just amazing what the technology's doing. Now, there's something else there I see. What's that?
This is the Bluetooth Jabra Freeway. It's an in-car solution. It's got 3 speakers for a virtual surround sound. You can clip this right to your visor.
All right, yeah, because it has a clip on it. It looks like a
radar
detector is what it looks like.
It does not do that.
Okay, just to be clear.
Keep it under 55.
That's what it looks like.
Right, you clip it right to your visor.
Yeah.
You can stream all your music. If you don't have a car that has Bluetooth enabled, this is a solution for you now. You can click that on there. You can pair it with your phone wirelessly. You can stream your music. You can take all your calls through it. And it's
it's surround sound.
So, and this is interesting, Paul, because yesterday Jim Barry was saying how much of that Consumer Electronics Show now is taken up by vehicles and the technology on board your vehicle.
Right.
But if you're, and a lot of this has really come a long way in the 10 years, but if you're driving a vehicle 5-10 years, you probably don't have Bluetooth technology, so you can do it. What's the cost like on something like that if you want to enable it? Because that makes for a lot safer driving too, let's face it, if people aren't carrying a handset around.
Right, yeah, it gives you all, you can have hands-free. It's under $150. Again, same
reasonable.
thing.
Yeah.
Check it, the Jabra Freeway. It's available online on the website. It's super nice. Yeah, you can make calls from it.
Yeah.
It gives you audio controls.
And Paul, I noticed that you're demonstrating a lot of these screens you're showing us in the studio, but you're showing them on one of the newest phones in the lineup. This is brandy new.
Never seen before, this. Mark. Have you even seen this?
I have not physically seen one. I've only seen pictures of this, and that's the brandy newest.
Right, the Samsung Galaxy S4, right? The Galaxy S has been a great success line for Samsung. This one comes out May 30th is when it comes out. I brought an early one I can show you, but you can't touch it.
We can't touch it.
Right, I can't let it out of my hands.
We can't talk about it. We can't take a picture of it.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, it's very nice.
Just look. But yeah, it
looks nice. It's what I noticed, first of all, about it is like most of the front of it is screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, really,
it's almost edge to edge.
Yeah,
there's just the one big button on the bottom there. Other than that, it's edge to edge. 5-inch screen, quad-core processor, full HD on the camera and on the screen. It's a beautiful
picture
phone.
that you've got on there looks amazing. Yeah,
right.
Paul, I know that last year when the Galaxy S3 phone came out, it was the phone on an Android platform that they said this is a real challenger to the iPhone.
Right.
And I believe I tend to like the Android platform better. This is the next evolution of the S3, and I thought the S3 was a great phone.
Right. The S3 was outstanding. I mean, people loved it. The S4 is just the next one. Right. I have both. Right. As you can see, I have an iPhone and an Android, so
Yeah.
I'm neutral. I'm neutral.
See how many? Okay, so now being the gadget guy.
Yeah.
Like, do you have to invest in extra clothing just to be able to carry all this?
Just
stuff
a whole.
with
Well,
you?
all my jackets just have inside pockets.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
weird, because
there you
I
go.
need pockets. You see, I have 4 phones, 2 tablets on me just right now with all the
Right.
jam boxes, everything else.
Yeah.
Gets a little, going through airport security is a challenge.
Oh,
Yeah, but it is. Paul, thanks for coming. It was really a treat to see some of this stuff. It's amazing stuff, and we love it. So thanks for coming. We appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Paul Ulreich, PR specialist with Verizon. Thanks for some of the gadgets. I always love the gadgets, Mark.
This was a good load. This was the mother load.
Yes, it was indeed. We're back to wrap things up on the morning meeting after this on KFRU.